The lane kill setup on Singed is taking Scorch with Ignite and Bone Plating and Unflinching. These are all hyper early game runes. You're also going to be taking a very aggressive early trades like this. Don't back off, don't be afraid. You're also going to be taking 2 flat AP shards and a flat health shard, and the whole objective of this setup is that we are going to be risking our very good late game scaling setup. We're going to be risking that in favor of having more power in the early lane. He's igniting me, so I'm going to ignite him right back. He wants to get me off of this wave. I am not backing off this wave. We are pushing, and we are pushing hard. And we are risking some of our late game scaling in exchange for more early game power in lanes where you think that you will need the early game power, right? So AP Zen top, I just played a game versus this guy actually. This is my second game in a row against this guy. AP Zen top is a very, very, very aggressive lane opponent. I think their jungler is going to gank me because my jungler just died, so I'm gonna have to... yeah, unlucky. AP Zen top, very aggressive early game setup, right? Early game champion. Things like Renekton, Jax, Riven, right? These super, super aggressive early game levels 1 to 5 champions. You can run this setup, and you can all in them or trade more aggressively, right? You're gonna be much more comfortable in lane. So consider running this just in general if you are struggling in your early laning phase of Singe. This will give you more damage early. It'll give you more tankiness early. It'll just help you out a lot early game when Singe is the hardest to play right in the early game. So any of these matchups where you struggle, it's also decent into things like Teemo, but I really wouldn't suggest you play Singe into Teemo these days. But most range champions you can run Ghost Flash, I would say. However, against a lot of these melee matchups that just try to trade with you very aggressively, repeatedly early on because of the Scorch will give you damage on most of these trades because Scorch is I believe 10-second cooldown, right? So in a lot of these trades, you can proc Scorch, back off, proc Scorch again next trade. Here's another Scorch proc for me actually, so I've gotten 63 damage out of Scorch so far. He has a level up on me here, so I'm gonna back off, but just a lot of value from the rune so far in the early game. Now, one thing to mention about this setup is that while it does make your laning phase much more comfortable, it is going to fall off, okay? So because I'm running Ignite with either Ghost or Flash, I only have 1 mobility summoner if you don't count the Roll Quest teleport. I don't really count that Roll Quest teleport because you don't have it up that often. Well, while you do get movement speed off the Roll Quest teleport, I'm going for the proxy here. Because it's only up like once every 7 minutes, you don't get a lot of mobility out of it. It's also the Roll Quest TP, so you don't get the shield out of it, right? That you would with the normal TP. He's going to follow me here, so I'm just going to take every minion except the cannon. I'll show you guys a little trick you can do on Singed. You can W the wave as you're executing to a turret like this. W down, and now those minions, especially the cannon, is slowed. I killed every other minion, but it's slowed down, so now the entire enemy wave is going to lock onto this turret, right? And instead of killing the cannon, switching targets, it's gonna just focus the turret, and then I'll have the cannon when I come back to lane. Yeah, like I was saying, with this setup, you do not have nearly as good of a late game as you would normally on Singed. This is also why I normally run scaling 99 out of 100 games on Singed. That's like 90 out of 100, actually. I think is more accurate. 9 out of 10 games. 9 out of 11 games, maybe. But 9 out of 10 games, I will run scaling. I can kill this guy here. And I have Ignite. You're out of mana. You're just dead here, I believe. Oh, my jungler is coming. No, I'm gonna steal this. I want this. Thank you. You get experience though, so that's still okay, I think. I just wanted the kill. If I'm gonna be running Ignite, you have to farm kills. This setup does fall off because you only have 1 mobility summoner, right? Normally, you would either have Teleport Flash, Teleport Ghost, right? With Teleport on being on a much lower cooldown if you take it normally. That is going to give you Nimbus Cloak procs. It's going to give you the Teleport movement speed as well. Obviously, Flash, Ghost speak for themselves. Or if you just run Flash, Ghost, right, then that's 2 mobility summoners as well. And mobility summoners are very, very, very important for Singe to be able to function in the later parts of the game, where you're strongest, right? And late game is where you need to have the most impact as Singe. So you are taking a risk with this setup. And I will say, it does make the laning phase a lot easier, but sometimes I like to think about this game, or this champion, kind of similarly to like Dr. Mundo. So if you guys know Alois, the way that he thinks about Dr. Mundo is to play him as like a complete full sense scaling champion. And the reason why is because if you are comfortable enough in your early lane to get through it while having a full scaling setup, like if you're good enough on your champion, right, then you have all the benefit of having a scaling setup while having little degradation to your early game. So Gathering Storm at 30 minutes, and a lot of games do go 30 minutes, many even go 40 minutes. Gathering Storm at 30 minutes gives you 48 ability power. Blasting Wand gives you 45, and it's worth 850 gold. So, I think you're just dead, bro. I flung him into my turret. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Blasting Wand gives you 45 ability power. It's worth 850 gold. At 30 minutes, Gathering Storm gives you 48 ability power for the cost of a rune. So you have to try with Scorch. Basically, what you're doing is you're saying like, I'm trying to get this much value before it would get otherwise get outskilled by Gathering Storm. This guy just runs into me, and I'll fling him and kill him, right? So I've gotten 2 kills on him. That's a decent amount of gold so far. Not really sure what he's doing there, but I'm gonna push one more wave here. Yeah, your early damage is certainly a lot higher, but I'm assuming you guys will probably see this game as you do with most games where you run this setup. Is the late game is just really not as good as your normal setups, and you'll probably see why I run scaling setups every game with with mobility summoners or teleport, etc. But like I was saying, you need to try and get as much value as possible out of this setup as early as you can, because if you don't, you're not going to get value for losing your good late game options like, you know, Gathering Storm, Overgrowth, Conditioning, right? These runes are all amazing late game. Cashback, Cosmic Insight, amazing late game. Triumph, Last Stand, amazing late game runes, right? Mid to late game even. I shouldn't even say late game. Like, these runes are all really good after laning phase even. Like after 14 minutes, but Gathering Storm in particular, you need at least 20 minutes for it to be really good in my opinion. Most games will go to 20 minutes. You're not really going to have a whole lot of 15-minute surrenders this season, to be honest. Average game time is up this season as well. Even more reason on scaling. And in Season 16, again, guys, you get the free, the bonus experience whenever you complete your quest. Right? Even more reason to consider scaling options, in my opinion. I got this plate here. Their jungler is nearby. Their mid's moving, so I have to back off here. What a dodge. What a dodge again. Oh, he's getting Ivern shielded, though. He ate quite a bit of damage. I don't think he can beat me anymore because his W is down. His AP's in, his W is his main trade tool. And the main way he starts fight. So if that's down, you have a few seconds to play aggressively. Okay, I'm gonna go help my jungler. He's picking help on grubs. I can flash here. I'm gonna ignite for Nimbus Cloak. And another kill. Very nice, very nice. So basically, in my opinion, if you really need the help in laning phase, then this setup is good. But just bear in mind, like, you're not going to be nearly as strong late game. Like, the power level difference is very noticeable on a champion like Singed. To not have, like, the mobility, not have the extra ability power from Gathering Storm, you really, really notice it on this champion more than you would on most other champions for not having a scaling setup. It's like the degree of difference between having a scaling setup on, like, a control mage versus having an early game setup on a control mage, right? That's, like, the amount of difference we're talking about. But I do have Rallies up now, which will be quite good against this Xin, so I'll grab this. I think I'm just going to go into Leandry second against this team, because I'm going to need the damage against the Xin. That'll be like Protoplasm third, probably. Plus, I'm snowballing right now, so I'll just buy damage. Why not? Yeah, if your flash is done with the setup, you will have trouble killing the enemy AD carry. You can mitigate this with things like Rocket Belt. But then you're going to be delaying your defensive items like Protoplasm, and then you're just going to have a rough time. If you get hit by 1 CC, you probably insta-die. And in the late game these days, in Season 16, you really, really need your defensive power items, and you need your scaling items, or just scaling in general, right? Because we're talking about competing with, like, enemy mid laners who have their plus 8% Magic Pen boots with their plus 8% AD and AP mid lane passive roll quest completion, right? Enemy AD carries are all gonna have boosted gold. I'm gonna try and catch this Xin on proxy here because he's been proxying me, so I'm just gonna try to catch him here. Hopefully he runs through here. Ah, he's going through turret. Okay, buddy, come here. Oh, he sees me actually. Yep. His Storm Raiders is down. Now he's going to be trapped in my Rylai Slow. He's going to ult me away, but I think you're just dead, dude. My support is coming as well. I know you have no flash. Goodbye. You're already dead. You're already dead. See ya. So that's 3 kills plus an assist there, but because it's Pyke, I just imagine that I have 4 kills right now. So basically 4-2-1. Pretty nice. Or I guess 4-2-0, 4-2. Hey, let's go. I think the setup is really good if you're learning Singe, by the way. Like if you're playing this character for the very first time in your life, then I'd probably try this setup. But I just really believe that like scaling is superior to the setup currently. Even though it's really fun to have like a lot of early game damage, it's like it's more dopamine to just have more damage as soon as the game starts up. Like the fall off you have to consider, right? If you're trying to play for this champion's strengths, which I always believe you should try to play for a champion's strengths, then scaling is gonna play for your strengths more, right? For Faded Ashes, Swiftness boots as well this game most likely. Nice little dodge. Nice little dodge again. By the Syndra. But yeah, it's a line of thinking that I picked up from Aloys's Mundo, and I've always kind of preferred scaling on Singed anyways. I've never really been a big Scorch fan. I think in my guide I called Scorch the worst rune in the game, which I do still believe it's the worst rune in the game. Genuinely, like it's a rune that's gonna probably give me at top 700 damage this game by the time it's over, which is just like wow. That's not even 1 full health bar at level 1 worth of damage, but you know, it is what it is. You take it for trades early to give yourself a more stable laning phase. Like I was saying though, if you practice a lot with this champion, if you just practice, and you improve at his laning phase, and you're able to start getting through that laning phase, excuse me, and you're able to start getting through his laning phase, you're scouting the bush with a rocket belt. Okay, bud. Get off me. Oh, you lose this, by the way. Save my ignite. Nimbus hook ignite. Fling. Goodbye. See ya. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. If you practice this champion a lot and you're able to get through his laning phase while having a scaling setup, not only is that going to be much more rewarding, right, for you on this champion later, but you're just going to be a threat at all points of the game. You guys see me all the time get solo kills with the scaling setup, right? Now, is it going to be as consistent as this early game setup? Probably not, but I'm still getting them, and I have such a stable early game because I've practiced this champion so much, right? I've practiced that I'm able to do it and then be a threat at all points of the game while having the maximum possible output later into the game where this champ is strongest, right? So why not play for that? Why not play for that late game? Similar to how a Dr. Mundo would, or similar champion, right? Where you're focused on that level 16 power stuff, like a Kale or something like that, you know what I mean? I don't think I want to TP on this. This just kind of looks cooked to me. I don't have ult anyways, so yeah, good luck. And I understand people are gonna say, well, Minish Cap, you are imagining things as an ideal scenario where your team doesn't feed early game. That's why you think scaling is better. But if you think about it, the opposite is also true for an early game setup, because with an early game setup, you are kind of like hoping and praying that your team doesn't feed late game as well. And one thing that I always say is that in modern League of Legends, people do not know how to play late game, because late game is very macro oriented, and macro is a dead skill in this game. People don't think about macro at all anymore. The last, let's say, what was it, 2026? Yeah, the last 8 or 9 years of League has been very focused around laning phase and early game. Very focused. This is the first season we've had in a long time where like, oh wow, go for late game is actually an option. Again, in my opinion. Yeah, the game's a little bit snowbally, but I mean, just you probably watched MSI recently, right? How many games of MSI did we have where the one team was up 5,000 gold, and the next minute they were down 1,000? You know, a lot. Like it's happening. Comebacks are a real possibility in this current season. So playing for late game is very, very powerful right now, in my opinion. I could ult for this guy, but we have a dragon fight in 35 seconds, and I don't want to spend it here. I also want to get my Leandries first before I TP down for this. Also, their AD carry is dead. They might not need me to TP, but I wouldn't put it past them to try and force this fight against us. Oh, hello. What a stun lock. I want to go aggro here. Bye-bye. Then we can get mid turret, we can get Dragon, get bot wave, then go back top to defend. I'm gonna stay to help just because I don't think my team has a lot of damage. We don't have a dedicated AD carry this game, so they're gonna need some sort of damage to help with this. And I don't think that my Seraphine is it. She's going back to the bot wave. She's coming back here. Let's go. Very nice. My Cinder is holding top, so I'll just recall now. Yeah, and so one thing I always say is that like modern League players just don't really know how to play late game because macro is a dead skill in this game. Macro is a very dead skill because the last 8 or 9 years of this game is focused so heavily around laning phase. This is the first season we've had in a very long time where playing for late is even an option again. How many nerfs did Kassadin get this season, for example? Kassadin got nerfed quite a bit this season already because of how viable it is to play for late now. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that like the early game setups are a crutch because they are also like the setup is way harder late game, but like you're kind of intentionally kneecapping your late game with this, whereas like a late game setup you're kind of intentionally kneecapping your early game a bit to make your late game a lot better, right? So I'm not saying it's like a crutch to run this, but I do think that if your laning phase is solid on this champion, very good, then you can run scaling setups every game. That's what I recommend as well. I recommend that in my guide that I released a few days ago, or last week. This guy's level 10. If he jumps in, he's dead. I have Ignite as well. Am I even going to use it here? I'm not sure. Nope. Because my Pike got it, buddy. He's got it. Yeah, in my guide, I recommended people to just run scaling setups because, in my opinion, like, when you practice your lane and you get good at the laning phase, you can still get solo kills while having a scaling setup, and you'll just be okay. In some situations, like when you're versus some Thanos level threat, some Avengers Assemble shit, yeah, like an AP Zen top, you know, fine. Sometimes you need to run it on this champion, but in general, I'd recommend against it this season. That being said, I do have a 10-stack Dark Seal. I might get a Magi's this game. It is fun to have kills early game, right? But it's also really fun to have insane late game fights. So, I guess pick your poison, pick your Q. With this champion. Now, if we were playing in season 15 last season, where average game time was like 22 minutes, I'd say by all means, you know, run early game setups. Yeah, sure. With 22-minute game time, yeah, sure, whatever, man, do what you want. But in season 16, average game time was like 28+ minutes, I think, at this point. Nah, bro, we scaling usually, right? But I played against this Xin last game, and knowing how aggressive he was in the first few levels, I decided to run an early game setup, and it has worked out pretty well so far. Because I kind of just shit on him for the first few levels, where he is strongest, right? AP Xin is strongest in the first few levels, so like cheese kills on you. Because that guy's not gonna be split pushing. He's not gonna 1v1 me later on. There's a Silas in this bush. Killed the Daisy. Oh, this guy walked up really far. I need to run. I can't like reach the Yunar without flash here. Yeah, unlucky. I'm gonna back off probably. Just go farm. So now it's about 19 minutes in the game. You guys are seeing some of the downsides of the setup, right? You saw the upside. I got a bunch of kills early. I had a very dominant lane. He couldn't really trade aggressively on me. He couldn't force me on a lane. I forced him on a lane multiple times, right? Now you guys are seeing, you saw the benefits of this. Now you're seeing some of the downside, right? Now imagine I had Ghost Flash there. All right, my Flash would be down, but I would have at least had Ghost to run through that fight. Imagine I had TP Flash, and I could side lane until that fight broke out, right? That's one thing. Your side lane later on with this type of setup is not nearly as good as with any of the scaling setups I recommend in my guide. The normal stuff you see me do every game. I need a couple more minions for Protoplasm. I don't want to sell my rings yet. But there's 2 mid, 2 dead. That means Iron's alive. If Iron is topside, he could just Q me and I would die. So I think I'm going to back off instead of going for this place as much as I want to. Essentially what I'm saying is like just practice, right? Believe in the scaling, just practice. Make your laning phase rock solid. Don't pick Singed when they lock in Teemo or Vayne. Pick something, pick like, you know, Malphite, Scion, things that are good in ranged champions. I used to teach people how to play against those champions a lot more, and you still can play against them, but like, genuinely, it's not worth the headache when Malphite and Scion are so easy to play. Catch this guy. I'm gonna permaslow this Ivern as well. Just permaslow him. We can get Dragon after. I saw Yunara. I flashed on Yunara. Goodbye. I'll see you in 5 minutes, bro, when my flash is up. I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Take my recall. I'm gonna defend this tier 2 top. So the AP Zen is decent at split pushing as well, just because he can clear waves very quickly and he gets some attack speed from his build as well. Right, so his split push is decent. Oh my god, he took those turrets so fast! The fuck? Dodge the W. Oh, he hit my pike. He's gonna try to focus him probably here. I have Protoplasm still. He has this phase rush up. Sorry, Storm Raiders. But you're dead. See ya. So we're 21 minutes. If I had Gathering Storm, that'd be plus 24 ability power right now. Which would be a lot better.
I hear you.
But it is what it is. Okay, Ivern is heading towards top. They had 2 in mid. Now they're sending 2 top as well. I probably have to leave because this guy wants to kill me here. Yeah, he turned around immediately. He definitely absolutely wanted to kill me there. They should... I should have pushed it harder. I would have hit the turret. I'm going to go Magi's. I never go Magi's. I'm doing everything I say to never do this game. Magi's at 10 stacks gives you 10% movement speed. If you fall below 10, you do lose that. On Singed, I say to never buy this item because eventually on Singed, you will die in a teamfight. If you don't die in a teamfight, you're probably not playing aggressively enough or your team's just turbo stomping the game. You have to play very, very aggressively on this champion in teamfights because that is just where you're built to succeed as teamfights, right? We can go over this wall and catch the Zen. Oh, he had a ward. Keep him in Rylai slow. You can throw this Nami in here too. I still have Protoplasm up. Come here. Give me my stacks. Please die. I don't have damage. Oh my goodness. 18 stackers. Just like that. Okay. It's like my Seraphine's TP on a mid turret. We can go for Baron here. A little 24-minute Baron. I'll sweep it as well. We will need the whole team to do this, though. Without a dedicated AD carry, our Baron damages is not great. Like, my Leandries will do a decent amount, but nothing beats having an AD carry to kill Baron with. Yeah, that's also my honest, earnest recommendation to you guys, right? Is to play usually a scaling setup. If you need to practice a few games with this early game setup, then definitely do that, just to make your early game, like, get your feet on a solid foundation, right? But as you evolve your experience with this champion, I want you to switch to scaling setups because it's just far superior late game. And most likely you're gonna see, like, with no flash here, it's very hard for me to approach the Yunara. If I had flash and ghost, then you can rotate them between cooldowns. Can I catch the Silas here? Nope, this guy is gone, probably. Yeah, he's gone. If you have Flash and Ghost, you can rotate the cooldowns. So, like, one fight you can pop Flash, next fight you can pop Ghost, next fight you can pop Flash, next fight you can pop Ghost, right? Things like this. Even throw your TP in there in between for mobility, because you get that Nimbus Cloak proc and the TP movement speed proc, right? But level 13 Silas, level 17 Singed with Ignite. Okay, I mean, we'll fight. I'm gonna ignite you and then take your turret. He's dead. Oh my god. My bad. My team will get turrets, though, for that. They sent 4 top. Because they had Ivern, Nami, Yunara, and then I killed Silos. So, I guess my fault for getting caught there. Then I had 12 stacks in the Magi's. I already lost my stacks. Like that's faster than it usually happens. Usually it takes longer than that if I buy Magi's. I'll try and get 25 by the end of the game though. Without Ignite, it's hard to kill 1v1 with this setup though. Like at this stage of the game, if I had this scaling setup, I'd be able to 1v1 people without Ignite, right? But because I'm so early game focused, we should go for Dragon instead of in 20 seconds. Because I'm so early game focused, I have to consider my options very carefully when I 1v1 side lane. Because Scorch is not doing shit right now at 26 minutes. It's not giving me anything, most likely. I should have TP'd faster. I don't have ult. I can maybe keep her in range until I flash. Nah, she's too far away. Oh, my team's fighting. No, not without me. I can't see anything because of Ivern's bushes, bro. Try and blow someone up, maybe. This is a 3v5 though. Oh, shit. I mean, he saw us and still went. He put the blue ward down and still went for it. Okay. We lose Dragon though. I'm just gonna push mid. Very unfortunate. Yeah, as you can see, I do have trouble reaching the 80 carry at this setup. But that is to be expected when you're taking a early game focus setup, right? But with practice, you know, be confident. Then you'd only need to take the setup versus something insanely busted early game like AP Zen, right? He's basically a champion from levels 1 to 5, and then afterwards, you know, he's really not that bad. But that 1 to 5 is fucking scary though, right? That 1 to 5 is really scary. Okay, I need one more wave for Zhonya's, but I don't want to stand up there to farm it because I'm super far up and I will die. I can get one wave bot. Grab my Zhonya's. I'll also show you guys my runes value after this game, just so you can see that I'm not full of shit. Right? You'll see the value of Scorch. And you'll probably be like, huh. Well, Minish Cap is he's definitely spitting. Alright, Zhonya's is up. Also, right now, with not having Ghost Flash, and Teleport is also down, my, like, this mid lane dance that people do is a lot weaker for me, right? Because if I had Ghost and Flash, I could really easily look for an engage, like super hard engage, and then use Zhonya's and Protoplasm to survive. With only having Flash and no Teleport, not only can I not go side lane, but my engage is a lot weaker as well. In exchange for the early game power that I had, right? And the fact that it's Ivern makes it so hard to, like, maintain vision on him. I had to use my blue trinket in the bush there, and... how annoying. Okay, Salas has a level 2 ult for me. He's level 14. I need to go fix this bot wave, but I'm very afraid my team's going to fight. I'm pinging them back, but one thing you'll notice is that teammates just really don't listen. Right, I'm pinging them back, and they're looking like they want to try to fight, which I very much disagree with. We should catch the Salas here. He's super pushed up. Catch him, catch him, catch him. I'm going to try and save my ult here if possible. He has the singed ult. Salas is very strong with it, so I'm a little bit scared, but he's level 14. If you're level 16, maybe we're more scared of you, but there's Baron in 14 seconds, as long as no one dies. Mother! This is what I mean. No, we have to back off mid. Guys, we have to back off mid. Please, 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 please. No. We can't push up. We can't push up. We can't push up. Jungler is dead. I'm recalling. You have to leave. Oh my god, he flanked them. The Xin flanked them. No. Guys. This is what I mean. I said, you remember when I said no one knows how to play late game anymore? We killed the Sylas, had a 5v4 on the map, 20 seconds until Baron. My jungler runs to their Grump and immediately dies. Okay, fine. Hopefully the rest of my team doesn't do something stupid to throw away the Baron. Yeah, they siege mid when I'm begging them to back with my pings, and then they get flanked by Xin teleport and die immediately, so... I was right, turns out. No one knows how to play late game. Because, like, it's okay if we can't do the Baron immediately, just don't give it to them, right? Now we're in a pickle. Now we're in a predicament. Now I'm in a predicament, too. I don't think you guys kill me, though. Over 1,000 damage to Xin there. He's gonna get healed by Nami, though. He's already full HP. Oh. I do not think I die here. I got a recall. I was so correct. I have Sonya's. Oh, I don't want to flash. I need this flash. Fuck! Am I dead? No, I lived. I really need that flash to kill Yunara. I can't reach. No, I can't reach it for another 5 minutes, probably. Oh, that's a tilter. That's a tilter. That's a tilter. Okay. It is what it is. Yeah, Yummer High mentioned, you know, a couple minutes ago that no one knows how to play late game. There you go. So, this also is exactly what I said before, right? People will argue, Minish Cap, if you take full scaling runes, you're just flipping on your team, not feeding early. Well, if you take the full early game runes, you're flipping on your team, not feeding late. Alright? And because no one knows how to play late game, I think it makes more sense to take full scaling and then be able to hard carry people when they're being stupid at the stage of the game. Kind of like this. What are you guys doing? Oh my god, I've never seen somebody miss skill shots in my life. Please leave. Please leave. Please leave. We have to go. I have to go defend top. Please leave. Please walk away. Guys. You gotta ping so much because people always try and just, like, outplay the red health bar on their screen, you know what I mean? Like, they don't care what's in front of them, they just wanna hit whatever's in front of them. Sometimes you need to wait for the team to respawn, which I think is fine. But we are at 32 minutes. If I had Gathering Storm, I would have plus 48 ability power over what I have right now. Doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it makes a huge, huge difference at this stage of the game. Especially because your Poison Trail loves AP, right? Helps your wave clear, helps your team fighting, helps your turret damage. Turret damage is a huge factor at this point in the game to be able to... Nice, good pick. Turret damage is a massive, massive factor at this stage of the game. I'm going to go ahead and buy another potion. If you don't have turret damage, if you have low AP, then your late game is very gimped. Because even the most early game oriented champion in top lane can still... They're still diving Yunara without me. Can still take turrets in the late game, right? So if you cannot take turrets, you're a liability, and Gathering Storm helps you take turrets. Because ability power equals damage. I catch you here. No way! She gets that recall? Alright, I guess kill this guy. Nah, man. Okay, I guess we won't catch anyone. Oh well. I gotta back off. I'm just going to split push top lane then, because I have teleport back up. I have no flash for another minute and a half almost. So I think I'm just going to split push top lane and see if I can get something done this way. I can't push too aggressively though, because if I push too aggressively, they might just force a fight on my teammates in mid. Without flash, I don't have a good way to reach you. Oh. He's level 16 now. He just wanted my ult, I think. I'm going to back off though. I don't like this fight call here that much, but we do have a big wave in bottom. If this fight goes south, I can TP and just take the inhibitor maybe.
It's nearly time.
Oh. Okay, one just recalled. I think that was Sylas that just recalled. We can clear vision maybe here. Okay, I think just leave. I think just leave. They're all rotating here. I don't like this fight anymore. I can maybe catch this actually. He's gonna recheck. Yep. Step out of the red trinket, then step back in. Just like that. Please die. 24 stack Medjais. I have 500 AP. I just trolled my Pike's R, but... I think we should go for Inhibitor and Baron. We can get both here. There's 3 dead, right? Maybe we just go Baron. That's a tough call. Because, like, it takes us a long time to do it, right? That's the main thing. Oh, I wish I had Gathering Storm right now. Look how slow the cannon dies to my poison! Bro! I have 25 stack Magi's! Oh my god! That's crazy. Alright, grab the Baron. Let's go. Grab the Baron. Let's go. Singed Kit in League Classic is going to have the 75% ratio fling with no max health damage, but it's going to have just like just a burst of damage up front. I can maybe sell boots for death cap here. I do not have gold. Okay, I'm just going to buy potion. I spent a lot of gold on potions this game just to maintain some ability power. Okay, we have time to push at least 1 wave. I have flash to look for Yunari here. I'm still going to have to kind of find a soft flank, though. Push 1 wave to pressure the lane, so I can TP potentially to split push if we need to. Kill this guy. Very nice, okay. Try to go around, maybe look for a slight flank here. Oh, there's a plant. I'm going to flash on her here. W down. She's cooked. She's dead, probably. My Seraphine with the ult on nothing, but let's go. I'll take it. Finally a killer after 38 minutes. Then we will go for Nexus. Nexus. I'll proxy 1 wave on the bot lane just to stop that wave from building up in our bot side. This guy should die here. Very nice. My kill as well. Oh, man. Oh, man. And the 25 stack. I told you guys I got the 25 stack Magi's. I told you. GG. Triple honor, and I'm unconnected to the post-game lobby. Nice, let's go. The highest damage in the game, 48.3k damage. And I have... What is my Scorch value? Oh, my... 723 damage with Scorch, and I bet you 600 of this was probably in the first 20 minutes of the game. Oh my, yeah, like, it's fine. I got ahead, I got kills, but as you can see on this champion, even if you get ahead like that in the early game, sometimes, like, the tools you need for late game are just not there. And like I was saying, that people are gonna obviously argue I'm talking about an ideal scenario to run full scaling, but I'm not actually, because if you're good enough and you practice enough, you can run scaling and still get ahead, and then you're an absolute demon. You know what I mean? So it's harder. It's harder to play scaling setups, right? You're not playing for ideal conditions, and even if you want to make the argument that you hope your team doesn't feed early so you can scale with scaling setups, then the opposite is also true. Is that you hope your team doesn't feed late game when you take early game setups. It's the same thing, just backwards. So I can already see the argument happening. People are going to type it regardless because people don't watch to the end. At least the majority of people don't. I know a lot of you do, because I still get a lot of comments from people commenting on things I say at the end of videos. But yeah, just some brain thinking thoughts about runes on this champion and why, and summoners, and why I play the way that I play. Because it's just fucking good, man. All right, it's just fucking good to run scaling. This is fine too if you want more comfort in your early game, right? If you want it to be a little bit easier early game, maybe you're getting fisted by Riven, maybe you're getting fisted by AP Xin top lane, maybe you're having trouble against like Nefiri or some other like degenerate pick. You know what I mean? Jax, maybe you need this, right? But my point basically again is that if you're good enough, you don't need it, right? And you can get super far ahead in ways that are not immediately apparent for the first couple minutes of the game, because they're more apparent later, right? But that being said, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Catch you next one. Mwah. Peace, guys. Got my 25 stacks, by the way.